Brisbane about 8 o'clock, according to the clock there. And tonight's session of Warp Drive is a bit of a different one, whereby we are doing a chilled night. You can see John Nick is already in the room. He hasn't joined the party yet, but I'll tell him to join the party in 2 seconds. I'm just going to get my wheel activated, which I should have done before I started the broadcast. Apologies that I haven't. We will get a message to him, and then he will know to join the party. So I can work out what's going on with my wheel, that is. Okay. Another chat. Tell him to join the party. In the party already is Rampage. Rampage is one of our regulars. He hasn't joined the room yet, but I'm sure he will when he's ready.
Yep. I'm in a race right now.
In a race right now, there you go. So yeah, just to give guys a bit of an overview about what we're doing tonight, we're going to run a little bit of a program. It's not too structured or too formal, but it's a chilled session for those of you who participated in JD Brooks or Down Under Limited Fang It Fridays. It's a bit more relaxed than the frenetic activity you saw in there. Well, we think it will be. We're starting off the session with what we call a steel bumper chill cruise, which is basically you're allowed to bring any car out provided it comes with a traditional steel bumper. So, you know, obviously more classic cars. We'll probably get everybody formed up for a car show of sorts, or a car display. Then we'll do a couple of laps with the cars, and we'll try to give you some good views of those cars, and then we'll probably do a small race, 2 laps, 3 laps, something like that. So just to see the cars racing, and then we'll do a shift of category, and we'll display some other types of cars, do a similar sort of format, and we'll go through that for a couple of hours. So we may even try to mix in some rollathon activity in there. For those of you who watch previous broadcasts, you know exactly what rollathon is. For those joining the room or new to the chat and don't know or the broadcast and don't know what rollathon is, then you'll find out. It's a little bit of a quirky activity that we do, but it is actually a lot of fun once you get into it. But anyway, I'll stop talking, and I'm going to jump out in a car. Now I noticed that John was in a Fugu. So, and speaking of John, he has just joined the party. Evening, John.
Yes, evening.
I have kicked off a Warp Drive broadcast. I had just finished giving everybody a 2.5 minute summary of what we're hoping to do tonight. That it's a bit of a relaxed event, but we do have a little bit of an idea of a program we want to run. And I was just talking about the steel bumper concept. Perhaps you might want to elaborate a bit further on the steel bumper idea.
Well, basically it's just a theme of cars. I mean, I'm quite an old schooler, so I like me classic cars, and a lot of classic cars, I'm talking from the 60s and 70s, have steel or chrome bumper bars as opposed to your plastic moulded front end. So I mean, that's basically all it is. It's just a theme for us to sort of do a session on tonight.
Okay, and for those of you who may be wondering, John, the love of those period cars, because it's not your era. In fact, you weren't born until the 70s, I think. Is that right? Or
no,
80s?
80s,
yeah. 84, there you go, you're a young fella.
Well, it depends who you compare me with, I suppose.
Me.
Yeah, me.
Which is to say I'm an old fart. So, yes, I was listening today to the radio, and I realised that I'm a Gen X, and that following me are the millennials, then following that are the Gen Zs, I believe, or maybe I missed one.
I think, yeah. Well, what about X?
No, I think I'm Gen X. I'm pretty sure I'm Gen X.
I thought it was
Gen X runs up to 1980.
Yeah, I thought it was
Apparently.
baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Y, then millennials.
No. Oh, well, yeah, there is a Gen Z, though, which are the guys
What
that
is
are
the
born...
millennial? What's the criteria for
Millennials
millennial?
at 80. Millennials were 80s and on, they said, up to 2000, I think they said.
Oh, well, I'm the one after that then.
Yeah, and then there was Gen Z, I'm sure they said. Or maybe I misheard them. I don't know. Anyway, I'm a few gens down the line, as they say. Anyway, so I'm going to jump into Fugu because I think that's what you were driving around in too, John.
I did buzz around in a Fugu before, yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to jump in one, and we'll have a bit of a drive when it lets me on track.
If that's the case, I'll get into something different.
Rightio then. So this Fugu. We're here at Sardinia A. I don't know what our plan is for tracks. We hadn't talked about that tonight. We'll play it by ear, but that's interesting. I'm gonna hit my brakes. I'm getting a reverse light show up as well. Look at that. How realistic is that? They're actually showing you 1960s auto electrics in action as well.
Now, just bear in mind, I forgot to update the tyre compound, so...
I am on racing softs at the moment, yes. I presume we're going to go to road tyres, are we?
No.
We'll use sports, yeah.
Very good. Well, I mean, that's, kind of in keeping with the theme. These cars were street cars, and I don't think they drove around on super soft racing tyres in the day. They were radial-based tyres, weren't they?
They had slicks, but they weren't exactly gumball tyres, no.
Oh, there you go. Tyre change has been performed. So I must change.
Actually, if you watch the historic touring cars, and I don't mean the ex-Group C, Group A cars, I mean the state championship cars, so the cars that ran up to 1972.
Yep.
They actually still race on treaded racing tyres.
There you go.
So, yeah.
So we're keeping it very real.
Be back in a sec, just gotta feed the cat.
Alright, that's important, you better not forget to do that. So we're on sports tyres without ABS.
Oh god.
And again, the idea is this is not about jumping on the track and setting the Lord on fire with lap times. It's really just a chilled session, a bit of an expression session. One thing I will do is just, because I'm in roof mode, just turn my volume down a bit. I just look at that. And I've gone off. One of the disadvantages of driving in this view, folks, is that I don't normally drive in this view, so my coordination or perception of things is a little bit put out. But yeah, so it's not a flat out set the Lord on fire with a lap time session. It's more a chilled session. As we go through the night, we may change the settings as we get to some more modern cars, but we'll see. About this car, it's actually not the original 260Z. It's called a Fugu, and it's called that because a aftermarket car modification organisation has specifically modified these cars. You can see there's a roll cage inside the rear window there. You can see there is flared guards. The engine as well, obviously suspension geometry, etc. And it's actually not a bad little car to drive. I mean, I'm on sports softs and no ABS, but you can see that it accelerates quite okay. And we'll have to brake early because if I brake too hard, I'll just lock up and coast into the wall down here.
I don't really, I'm really bad at braking without ABS.
It's funny, it's funny, Rampage, that if you do, you know, start to do 5, 6, 7 or 8 laps, you actually can start to brake with pretty good feel.
Yeah, I just find it weird because, like, on a controller, I feel like if I press it like halfway or like a little bit more than halfway, I'm not braking enough, and then I press it more, and then instantly it's just like lock up.
Yeah, I mean, when John comes back, watch him because he's on the controller.
Yeah.
And he manages it pretty well. And again, I think it's like anything in this game, isn't it? You just develop a feel for it.
Yeah.
And once you do, you go with that feel.
Yeah, I'll be joining the lobby now. I just finished mine.
Actually surprised at how well this car's behaving on these tyres, because I haven't changed the setup at all. I've got a bit of understeer there and wide, but otherwise it's actually quite well behaved. So my gearbox is a little bit long, but again, I'm not here to set super fast race times, so I'm not really too concerned about that. Just having a bit of fun driving the car around.
What's the most annoying track in your opinion?
In this game?
Yeah.
Well,
Apart from Nerd.
oh, I don't find the Nürburgring annoying at all. I quite like it. For me, there's probably 3. I find Laguna Seca a bit annoying, or WeatherTech as I should call it. One of the Majori tracks I'm not a huge fan of. And probably the 3rd track that can frustrate me is Fuji.
Right.
Oh, I should also add probably Brazil. Oops, that'll cost me a brake lookup. Interlagos. Interlagos I also struggle with a bit. I don't know, I just never feel like I get into a rhythm there. I mean, I'll drive them, but I just never feel like I get into a rhythm.
Alright. I don't even know if I have the Fugu actually. I'm gonna check.
It's okay, you don't have to. As long as you've got a car that's got steel bumpers, that's the only rule.
Yeah.
So a Nova, an old Z28, Corvettes, some old Corvettes, the old Porsche, the 356s, older Mustangs, the 350 GT Shelby.
Yeah, I think I have that.
Alpine, I think, has a steel bumper. If the bumper's been removed, then technically you're not supposed to drive that either. So, for example, if you had the P1, I didn't break enough. That doesn't have the bumper, so you can't drive that. The AMG Mercedes 380 SEL, I think it is, that has its bumpers removed, so that's not allowed
John,
either.
is your lobby friends only? Alright, yeah, so. Here it is. Oh, cool.
Right, John, sounds like you're feeding yourself, not the cat.
Well, the cats are fed, so it's my turn now.
Veggie chips, I suspect.
No, I'm eating them. It's chocolate now.
Oh, okay. I must admit I didn't snack myself up for this session.
I did.
Snacks are away in the pantry. Maybe that's a good thing. Just saying how well this car actually behaves under these sports tyres. Actually surprised.
Probably because of the car is actually still a road car, so.
Really got to do something to get this end to step out, as you can see.
Damn, this car doesn't have a... Thought maybe the De Tomaso might have
No, it's got bumpers in the rear, I think.
Yeah, I think it does. I think you can bring it out. Pretty sure we can.
I'll bring the Mustang. With these old cars, how do you... I don't know if you have had it before, but you have like the diff where one of the wheels is still spinning or like sliding and the rest aren't.
Just wind it right up. Wind your diff right up to like 40 something.
Yeah, alright, that's what I had right now. Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't.
That's a new name. TCO.
Effectively, if you have 5, it's a single pegger. If you go all the way to 6 for initial torque, it acts like a welded diff. This one's laughing at happened.
Well, I was laughing at how the car was fine, but then all of a sudden it just broke traction, almost like there must have been some kind of undulation in the track, but you couldn't feel it. You know, or the only other explanation is that it hit its torque band. But I didn't think these things had a big torque band. They're not exactly a huge motor, are they?
oil patch on hold.
Oil
God,
patch.
whenever I turn this thing, it just steps out.
Yeah.
You're in the Mark 1, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep, get used to that.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, I know it's a feature of this car.
Yeah, for some reason I've tried as I might, can't dial it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to do some settings stuff. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, it's just in tyre wear, it just hooks your tyres, but there isn't any in this, so it shouldn't.
Even a super soft setup still does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to brake about 3 million kilometres early though.
Yeah, you definitely have to brake earlier.
Yeah, I've actually found the easiest way to get rid of that oversteer in the Mustang is just drive a Camaro. It's the easiest way.
I'm not a fan of that Mach 1 anyway. I think it's one of the ugliest Mustangs, certainly up until the early 80s. Then the early 80s Mustangs took the mantle. But also to look at that car with the tiny wheels it has on it, just, to me it's like a shopping trolley.
Yeah.
No, I quite like it.
It also drives like one.
I know you do, I know John you like doing liveries on it, because it's got a very similar shape to the Australian,
Well, it's effectively an XP coupe.
Yeah. I was going to say XA hardtop, but
Well, I
XP
mean,
looks good.
basically the same age cars, so a lot of the styling cues were interchangeable from America to Australia.
See Moulton left.
I mean, if you actually look at the Valiants, the Pacers, and they're called Dodge Darts in America.
Yeah. Yep.
They're
The Dart.
actually identical from, I think, the nose of the car to the C pillar or something.
Is that
Or
right?
vice versa. Yeah, they're absolutely identical.
Actually, I've got a mate that's in the middle of restoring about 3 or 4 chargers.
Yeah.
I don't know why so many, but he is.
My uncle restores them.
Because they're worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
I was actually reading an article yesterday, the other night. Someone sold, a couple of years ago, someone sold a genuine GDHO Phase 3 for $1.2 million.
I
Yeah.
know, you believe it.
I mean, they're a
$5,000
collector's
over
item.
when they were bought.
Is the Challenger pretty bad on sliding as well?
Yeah, it is. The thing with the Challenger is the torque. The torque comes in and all of a sudden it just, the rear end just, wants to dance.
Yeah. I guess that
Those
happens when you get
Challengers, those Dodgers have got a big block up, so they come on torque very
Get too
early.
excited then, folks.
It does
Trying to do big
dissipate
drift.
pretty quick. If they're just sort of cruising around, they're good fun to drive, but they're not really a competitive car.
Oh, I'm just gonna give it a crack, see how it goes. I don't
Yeah.
think it's gonna go that well.
Well, I mean, I'm in a Mini, so I don't worry about pace, mate.
Hey, I mean, look at that
I am
first.
coming up, and so what we'll do is
True.
we'll probably sit behind John for a bit.
The Minis destroyed Bathurst in the early years.
66 they won.
Yeah.
In fact, I think they got the first 9 places.
But didn't they won because they were able to stay out longer and do less pit stops, didn't they?
Well,
That probably had something to do with it.
yeah, back then that was standard production cars, so... And in 1966 there was no... the Mini S Cooper was probably the closest thing to a racing car or a performance car that year. Before GT Cortina was gone, it was, for whatever reason, it was abandoned or demolished. GT Falcons hadn't come through yet, the old Monaros hadn't come through yet. Closest thing with the big engine, as in a V8 engine, was a Studebaker Lark.
Yeah. And their brakes were absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, and they kept breaking wheels. There's actually footage of drivers replacing wheels mid-race and mid-track.
Why?
Yeah.
Because the brakes just overheated them and they fractured, or?
No, the cars are just overweight. They break all the wheel studs and just blew
Yeah.
their tyres out.
They weigh roughly the same as the Titanic, so...
So John, tell us about this Mini in particular, the livery that it's wearing.
Oh no, which one have I
You're in the green one
got?
with the
It's
little
the
C
19...
on the side.
Yeah, it's the 1966 winner, the one we were just talking about. The 66 Bathurst winner. This is Bob Holden and what's his name? Bruno Altonen. I think his name was. Bob Holden's now a V8 Supercar Hall of Famer. He raced in the small car category up until, I'm gonna say 87, 88.
Is he still alive?
Yes, he is. Just.
Maybe a fair age.
He's
Yeah.
in his...
He'd be in his 90s, wouldn't
Yeah, he would have to be close to, if not in his 90s.
So we're getting a good picture of the car here. That's a genuine number plate too, is it, John? Knowing your penchant
It's the
for
actual
being
number
accurate.
plate, yeah.
There you go. So if you happen to own EFK 187, if it's still wearing that plate, congratulations on having a Bathurst winning Mini in your garage. How's it going there, Rampage? Haven't seen you on track.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you guys.
We're coming around the third last corner.
Yeah, I see. This car would make a very good drift car.
I don't think so. It's a 50-year-old American V8.
Which car are you in? The Mac 1?
No, the Challenger. Well, I mean, it slides without you even doing anything. I'm just driving around the corner. So. How much horsepower does your Mini have?
90 something.
Very little. Nah, I think it's 147 to be exact.
And how much does it weigh?
500 kilo, 560 kilo.
I think they measure it in grams, don't they?
16 ounces.
Okay, your Rampage, your challenge is to keep up with this car. Ooh, if I don't go off track.
Yeah.
I see what you did there, your Challenger.
Yep, your challenge.
Oh my god.
And the Challenger.
Jesus. I'm just waiting for the straight. Hopefully. I mean, I'm kind of counting on it. So.
Me too. It's work. Depending
Yeah,
on the
I mean,
stroke.
yeah, I know. He's already pulled away from me because I can't bloody keep the thing straight.
See if she goes alright in a straight line too. This should be the fastest one we've done, isn't it?
Oh, 133, Good work there, Gandalf.
Thank you, Gandalf!
Can't get out the corner.
I might have to do some quick modifications because I did not realise my brake bias was on 5, so pretty much as soon as I braked, it just 360'd.
Oops!
Yeah, did not know. Like, before I came out, I was like, oh, maybe having brake bias to the back might just help a bit in those braking zones. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, but the handbrake, you can't have the brake bias set to the handbrake.
Yeah. Wow, that thing is tiny. I didn't realise how small that thing is.
It was the first car I ever drove. It was a Mini.
The Mini?
Yeah. My sister had a little yellow one, not a Cooper S, but it did have twin Weber carburetors on
it. On the rocket?
Little ROH wheels on it, I remember those. And no synchro in second gear, that made it interesting.
Yeah, I bet.
Quite a few on the gear changes. Mind you, I was only 14.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have been driving it on the road, but it was a quiet street, so...
Yeah. I mean, my dad used to drive his dad's car, and he actually got caught by the police, so...
My second ever car I drove was a summer bus, basically. A converted. They did a version of it that was like a ute. and
Oh,
my
really?
cousin,
Oh, yeah.
who was much
Yeah,
older than me, and her boyfriend, he was a builder, and he decked it out so they could go travelling around Australia in it. And then they decided to go to Bali for about 4 or 5 weeks and kind of left the car at our place. And my older brother decided we should go for a drive in it. So we drove it a few times. Oh, we only drove it. We only drove it around like the local streets, like the blocks. We didn't go on some long drive.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wasn't going that fast, but I broke the lane. Might be time for a car change for me, I think.
Yeah, well, this is my 9th lap at the mini, so I might do the same thing actually.
Yeah, 14 for
Mind
me.
you, I'm going quicker and quicker and quicker at this thing, so...
Yeah. The Rampage's lap time was pretty good, considering his brake
Yeah, I
bias
hit.
issue.
I mean, that was a good lap, except I smacked the, you know, the wall that's down through the kink after I think it's like turn 5. You know, you come through that fast sweeping one. Because this thing has so much power and so little grip, you just come through there and it's so hard to not hit that wall. You have to like fully slow down for it. So I fell victim to that. I'll try one more. I'll try one more lap. I reckon I could probably do a 34 maybe.
And what the Nova would do.
Yeah.
Tyres.
Which, oh yeah. Is that the Gran Turismo Nova?
The single one, yeah. That's the only one you can have.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe.
I suspect it will murder that lap time.
Yeah. I mean, if you look into turn 1, all the black lines are from me attempting to pull this thing up. I mean, if you can keep it in a straight line, it probably will on these tyres. I'm on a good lap though, right now.
Sorry.
Oh.
Did you not know I was there?
No, I had no idea. Of course, I got no blue flag. No flag.
Damn. How did I do that just then?
Yeah, I can go.
Well, the tyres don't affect its top speed. Almost hit 300.
In the Nova.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That Nova is a quick car. Well, it's a fast car.
Yeah, it probably has like.
Nearly 1,000
What's the
horsepower.
size of the? Yeah, what's the size of the engine in it?
I don't know,
No, it's
probably
6.7 litres.
7 litres or something. Yeah.
Well, I think I know what I'm bringing
Damn
out
it.
now.
Why did that do that?
It's time for the Mark 40.
I was going to say probably in a Mark 40.
Yeah. I don't think I'll need a 400k gear ratio somehow.
I think this one's set close to 400 still.
Yeah, I think mine's like 430 maybe.
Big boys, I'm bringing out a Volkswagen Beetle.
Good for you.
Yes.
Oh, I had a lock up. Off track.
With a scorcher
First lap was
98
perfect,
horsepower.
second lap is terrible.
Oh, it's so nice to drive around in a car that has grip. Still no brakes though.
Why are you going down pit lane, are you?
No, I mean I'm at turn 4, 3.
Two and still only 1.8 seconds. Uh-oh, we have another after this. Had a lock up. That's the problem. Once you have a lock up.
Oh, that's pretty much.
Shwani!
I mean, what percentage of the brake do you use to most effectively stop the car? I'm
about 85%. Then when I'm slower, I do put it on full. I think it's the initial high speed where it locks up. Hey, Swanee.
Swanee?
Oh, I don't have his microphone in yet. Calling Mr. Swanee. If you can hear us, we can't hear you.
Swanee 007, you've got your microphone on mute. Please turn it back on now. Nah, mate, we can't hear you yet.
No sound.
Can you hear me?
Now
there
we
we go.
can. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, my internet's playing up, so if I drop out, it's
Hey, we're all Australians, we understand.
NBN code.
Yeah.
Nuisance bloody network. I know bloody network as some people say. Oh, I've done it again. Why does the car understeer through there? That's weird.
Try a Beetle, you'll never understeer ever again.
No, true. No. Snap oversteer at every moment.
It's because you're going too slowly. Even.
So annoying because this car should be done
Ah,
comfortably.
come on. Every single time into the sharp hairpin in the middle sector. Just kills
Done
me.
it again. I thought I had my braking under control there and I screwed it. So Swanee, sports soft tyres, steel bumper cars, yeah?
No ABS.
No ABS, correct. I can't believe it, I did such a great outlap with this car and I've done 2 other laps and both of them have been a schmozzle.
I think what we'll do is when we do a change of track, go to A1 ring and quit.
I completely went off the track and still went purple.
Nice.
Oh my god. See, the thing that I really struggle with no ABS is when it's kind of hard to find a braking mark because every time you brake, it's always different. You get what I mean? Like sometimes you might do the pressure just a little bit different and it completely changes.
Yeah.
I've just got a problem, I've got a heavy finger.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
I've
locks.
got
Oh,
a
that's right, you're on controller, aren't you, Swanee?
I am,
same here. Let's put
Oh,
that
right, mate,
bloody
you're on
word in.
controller as well.
Yeah, I'm probably always will be as well.
Apparently the rich knobs that can drive Novas on wheels can have that privilege. Yeah, I see ya. Saw you that time.
And I braked in a previous postcode, so I managed to pull it up okay.
Yeah.
Well, at the braking point for me, I'm doing exactly 100 mile an hour.
I'm doing about a 300 roughly.
Yeah, I'm just on 300.
Yeah, that's way too long. That's way too long. Yeah. Good.
You got. Looks like you went off and I went off.
Yeah. I think 200 is a bit late when you're going 300 in these cars. That lap that I set, which is purple, I went completely off the track at turn 4 and 5, the sharp hairpin.
Being super cautious through this
the far section.
Oh, just there, that corner.
Yeah, that far section. I keep hitting the wall just coming through there. You just have no grip in these cars.
That's a better time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Jesus.
150.
You go to brake and it just locks the front so it goes straight ahead.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like, and the thing is, like, I feel like I'm
Discretion
braking.
required.
I feel like I'm braking like 80%, and I'm looking at the bar, but I think it feels like I slow down quicker when I just smash them all the way. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm hitting around 50-60% when I'm not going fast.
Yeah.
But when I'm going fast, let's see where the bar goes. It's going a bit faster here. Yeah, about 75 to 80 initially.
What?
That's weird. I did 75 to 80 and I overshot where I'd normally pull up. He's cracked the game. Would brake bias have anything to do with it?
Well, I'm running 3 at the front, so I don't know what you're
I was
running.
5 at the front.
No, I've never ever been 5 at the front.
Yeah.
I actually run somewhere between 2 and 4 rear, depending on the car. And I've actually noticed I can use pretty much full braking capability for a lot of the time before it starts
Brake a bit
locking up.
later then, and it didn't work. Definitely can't
I'm
brake
just
that
totally
late.
not used to braking without ABS. Where are you braking sport for T1?
I'm braking.
Bit
Whatever.
late.
What's the?
That's where I'm braking.
Not far from it. Before you come over the hill, whatever the sign is, just before you come over the hill.
250.
Yeah, that's where I'm starting to
Yeah,
apply the
same.
brakes.
You alright, Kiki? You're eyeing off my juice. Well,
I think it's the weather. I think it's because I'm a girl.
I'm gonna sit in my lap, are ya? You're the only female who does.
Oh, I'm gonna have a word to Nicole now.
Quite right there. You are, aren't you? I'm gonna sit here.
She been unwell again.
Nah, she's just being screechy.
Does trail braking work in these cars?
Yeah, it does, as long as it's not too hard on it.
I've never been one to be a trail breaker, particularly in an older car. I don't find it works particularly well. There's not enough lateral grip to warrant it. That's the microphone you're using.
There you go, I just trail brake in a turn 1, it's okay.
It's easier to, one. It's got a camber.
Right, this should be a fairly good lap here. There we go.
Indeed it is, well done.
Yay! Right, now I'm finally getting used to how ABS works. Mind you, I think that this car is a bit better than the Nova. A bit more solid at handling.
think you've taken a shit very recently. You stink.
Ah, I've overcooked it again.
Oh,
Damn it.
look at that. Burnt it. Into the wall you go.
Yep.
Damn it, I just did the same thing at the first corner.
That was good, Swanee, except you
Yeah,
lead-footed
fucked
it
up
on the exit. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, hang on a minute. Your Ferrari says warning, toxic on the back of it.
Yep.
Who's Ferrari?
Swanee's Ferrari.
Yeah. It's a bit tongue in cheek there.
That a protest?
says-
That a new protest livery, is it, Swanee?
And it says suck it on the bloody number plate.
Yep.
Oh, you're in the wrong room for that livery, mate.
I'm just getting ready. I couldn't find one plate that says suck it, Izzy.
Haha.
I'm sure you could. She could just make a livery out of it.
Maybe I should redo the livery I did for him for the Anzac Day and send it to him.
Suck it up, Chrissy.
Actually, I was just working on what I think will be a pretty cool livery when it's finished on an Alfa Romeo Group 3 car.
That's if anyone uses that bloody thing.
Oh, I'll just put it in car shows.
Yeah. Yeah. I personally absolutely despise it. I mean, it's not...
I've done nothing but just drift this lap and I'm already 2 seconds better than the last lap.
Yeah. Ah, damn it. I missed the last corner. Completely purple.
Oh, you bugger.
Oh, driving. Oh, see me. You just lose concentration for a second and then you realise you're at the 150 board.
Yeah.
Oh, Kiki.
Gotta be so careful with that wall. Yeah. I followed you, I did the exact same thing.
How much time it cost me?
You don't want to go deep into the last corner. It's...
Get your fat ass out of the place, bro.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I know, they just hate.
Grab.
Yeah.
Let's grab some hope, shall we?
Oh, again, diff lock up. Come on, car, what are you doing to me? Get off the freaking... Is my accelerator pedal sticking or something? No, didn't then. Why is it doing that diff lock up then?
That hairpin at the bottom of the hill is the bane of my existence.
That's the best corner.
I know, if you get it right.
Oh, Blazer's joining his Jag. I wonder if you saw my pictures I posted of my Jags. Oh, interesting. So Professor Hidden has joined my chat.
Is he in that silver?
No way. I think if you go on the grass on the exit of the last corner, you have 30 tyres for the first one, and then you just can't brake. That's what's happened to me about 3 times.
Oh, really? Damn, diff lock up again. That's so frustrating.
Is that you're into turn 3, turn 4?
Yeah.
So you're just behind me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I know this isn't the ideal line. I'm just trying to warm my tyres up. Do a bit of sliding.
Somebody's running wide in the Ferrari.
Yep.
I find with that hairpin, I'm always way too early or way too late.
So they don't clean like.
Thanks, G. You're welcome, V.
As he says G too.
Yeah.
Presume it's Guy. Presume that's what it stands for. Huh?
Yeah, it's actually like gangster, but
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like being the OG and the original gangster. I believe it's
Right.
a terminology.
Didn't
oh
know
my
that.
god. Cooked it into the first corner, as usual. Yeah, if someone says like, what's up, G, I don't know, that's up to gangster.
Oh, no. I knew that was going to happen. As soon as I put it into third gear early.
Just tagged it.
Yeah. For good measure, I'll run straight ahead now. Because I'm annoyed at myself.
Alright, just one clean lap. Come on. Oh my god. I can never get it stopped up at turn 1 now. Every time.
Yeah, the crest actually causes it to rock up.
Yeah.
Oh, you bastard.
Did you go deep into the hairpin?
No, actually I screwed at the previous corner because I went too hard through it and had a big oversteer, and by the time I got it straightened up I was past my break point.
Yeah, that's the annoying thing with these guys.
Anyway, it is what it is.
This is going to be interesting. Bringing out the Cobra.
The Cobra? Oh, that'll be a dream. That'll flog it around here.
Well, the Shelby or the Daytona?
Yeah, sure.
No.
Daytona's got no bumpers.
Yeah.
The Cobra's got the guards around the bumperettes and the grill cap.
The overriders.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't say that you should get the game for unsafe release.
Christ, could you imagine how many people would be blaming that on
Oh, yeah.
losing a race?
Oh my god.
Oh, that works a dream, John. 5 on the rear.
I don't use 5, that's a bit much.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it's pulling up.
I'll go, 3, sometimes 4.
This is actually like, it's like basically driving with the ABS, it's actually pulling up.
Yeah, it does work well.
Problem is the second you turn, well, as soon as you get down to slow speed, it just wants to turn around. It is a lot more slippery when you go to the rear though.
You can use the throttle to get around the corner sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in these cars, that's how you do.
Back at me in power, man. Wow, 132.
Just doesn't seem steady at steady on the sports.
Oh, Stu's
Yeah.
joined us. No.
I can't use rear brake bias in this car. It just tries to spin me. I can use one, but anymore it's a death trap.
Yeah, he's going to go with no ABS and sports tyres, though.
Yeah, good question that. Oh, really?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he realised.
I'm quite impressed with the 132 for a Camaro.
If I can just string together a lap, easily do a 120.
You dare, you motherfucker. Purple's in the first 2 sectors, which is the first time I've done it. Fucking didn't rate the prick.
I'd hardly
Thought
call
I'd
that
do it
car
all
little.
again.
Let's try the Super B.
Yeah. I hope you've got a sign that says sadomasochist across the bonnet.
Or blazers in one.
There you go. Point proven.
What was that?
Point proven.
There we go, purple 1 second.
I mean, I was getting purple by sector 3, but I'd not gotten it in the first 2.
Same, exactly the same thing.
Oh, just fucked it. Fucking diff lock up, come on! Fuck, my first section was fucking perfect. That's annoying. No, we're not supposed to be doing fast laps, but it's annoying.
I was about to say that. What happened to the no hot lapping?
I know. Just trying to extract the performance out of the car.
Yes.
Done it again. What is it with going back to first gear in this car? It just fucking doesn't like it.
Compression locks up.
Yeah. And it's not like I'm going fast. Like first gear is 120 k's. I'm sure I'm dropping it when I'm going slower than that. So I don't understand why it's doing it.
Yeah, some of the gear ratios in this game are really weird. Like it says, like for example, like you said 120 and then you shift down at 100 and it goes mad.
Should be interesting. I'm thinking it collected by Blazer here. Oh no. Pulled it up. John's having a drift expression session, really?
Not by choice. It's just what it's doing.
Nice can of Milo you got there, mate.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm in purple, get out of the road! By a mile, get out of the way! I actually was half a second up. Like bullshit.
Oh no, Blazer, please, not now.
Oh, it's gone. A little foiling with John has taken it.
Right, one more lap and then I'm gonna go have dinner. You can gain so much time if you really nail that final corner.
Yeah, I agree. You get a good clean run out of it.
Yeah. For example, I was 2 seconds down on this lap, and then I got it down to 1.5 just from the exit.
Got him up even more.
Ah. How the hell am I purple? I had the most shocking first sector and I'm purple.
And you must do that middle sector really good, because I was up 8 tenths, and I'm only up 2 tenths now. And I didn't do it that bad.
Yeah, that middle sector. The middle sector is probably the strongest part of this car. Yeah, well, I was purple first sector and then middle sector.
Ah,
coming
damn
out
it.
of them.
Can't believe I just did that.
Did you
I still
straight
got
line
it.
the final corner?
No, I didn't get it. I would have had it. I got on the grass.
Yep, I know.
And
That's
I
the
just
most
tank
annoying.
slapped it all the way down the straight.
Yeah. Yep.
I still did a 27.9 though.
I just did a 27.9% as well.
Yeah, but you did 27.1 before that, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, see, 132 in first gear is what this car will do. I guarantee when I go down this bottom, down the bottom here, and I go back to first gear, I'm doing less than 130 and it diff locks up on me.
Yeah, same.
How does that work?
That happens every time to me as well.
How's that copper going, Swanee?
It's alright.
Should be killing it, I reckon.
Half a second.
The other thing is, it's max power, so I think with this thing, you put your foot down, it just lights the rears.
That's any car really though in this sort of setup.
Here we go.
Alright, this should be a good one. 26. Yep, 26 and a half. Alright. I'm gonna go have dinner. I'll be back then.
See you, mate. Good
Yeah,
drive.
so, cheers. Never mind, faulty intel.
Mum hasn't made it yet.
Oh, Dad, yeah.
Alright, let's try the Mark 1.
Mark 1 what?
Mustang.
Mustang. It's a handful. It's not the best on the straight.
That should be alright on the straight.
It does about 230.
Oh, I didn't get in the 26 and I thought for sure it would then. 27.2. And purple again, but stuffed it up in the middle. Getting out of the tight hairpin in this car is hard.
Yeah.
So Prof Hidden's gone from watching the broadcast. Did you hear me before, John?
No?
He jumped in and watched the stream and then jumped on and wrote, "Hello sport, long time no see."
No.
So I acknowledge he was on the
Next to
chat, but
next to
said
the
hello,
easy.
that was it. So you glitched then, John.
Whoa. It's all kicking off. Right. Yeah, in this slipstream I'm easily pushing past 300 in this.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
My car just had no steering then at all.
You're just locking up all the way in.
Yeah. It just went right when I turned left too. Like, where are you going, car?
Yeah. Has a mind of its own. Yeah, I'm always down in the first sector, and then...
Yeah, I think your car probably gets out of this corner a lot better.
Yeah, and it's better in the high speed stuff.
Oh, I nearly stopped them off, but not enough. I'm in trouble. As soon as you miss that turn in this car, there's no coming back.
Yep.
You really got to throttle see the 40.
Yeah, I trail brake into this corner, but you just seems to stop a lot better.
Uh-oh.
That's a
I've
good
had
thing.
that wide before.
Smash the brakes. Oh. Good. I followed you, did exactly the same thing. I reckon they should have this as a daily race. No TC. That'd be interesting. Really separate the boys and the men.
I've never drawn cross control.
Yeah, it's slower normally, but obviously in this sort of circumstance, people would probably abuse it. Oh man, boom, straight into the barrier.
Ah! Got the sand coming out.
Yep. You just get two wheels and then straight around. I reckon I could ideally probably do a 26.2 maybe.
I think if I shorten the gears a lot, I'll probably go quicker.
Yeah,
I
same.
mean, I'm only... What am I getting to?
I barely-
I think I don't even need to go to 5th.
Yeah,
I have to
same.
brake. So,
Oh, you mean on the straight?
yeah, on the straight.
Yeah. Oh, I think I'm using all of 5th pretty much. There are a few corners where I just got a terrible exit on my purple lap, so if I can just get them better than hopefully. And probably smashing into the barrier isn't going to help.
I am getting in 5th. Not 6th.
Yeah. Oh, I made the first corner by the skin of my teeth, and then I slammed the power way too much. Terrible exit.
It's not bad. Felt good.
Oh, there we go. That's why I've got my bloody gears all the way to the front. My brake bias, so... I was wondering why it was just like not pulling up. Kind of hate how it doesn't like auto save your setup. So if you put it all the way to the front or back, it doesn't save that, it doesn't think, hey, what are you using in this car now? I think a lot of the time in these cars is there's...
Fucking diff. Fuck.
I think a lot of the time in these cars is gained by just making sure you're in a straight line before accelerating.
Yeah.
So if you can put the power down, if you can put the power down and not slide all over the place, you gain so much time.
Yep.
Hard thing though is actually putting the power down. Look at that. As soon as I put the brake bias to the rear, easily pulling up
Is
on
it
the
really?
250. Yeah.
Interesting. What's the rear end like though?
I've only got it on 1, so it's not too bad.
Next brake pedal. I think 29 laps is enough. Not now. My Porsche, maybe? Not sure. Does the D-Type have bumpers? Don't think it does, from memory. Is the DBS3 maybe at the rear? Let me see. Soon find out, won't I? Ooh, nope. Does not. Sorry, Mr. DBS. Somebody was in and out. Why Stewart didn't hang around? Obviously he was thinking it was a car show, I'm thinking. So...
Yeah, brake bias to the rear is a lot better, if you can. Right, this should be purple. Boom. 2/10.
I'm gonna give the Porsche a go, it's notoriously taily.
Which Porsche?
356.
Is that like the rally one that they used?
No.
Alright, I have no
This is
idea of the old
early
Porsche.
Porsche. 1950s
Oh,
and
the
60s.
is that the convertible one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know which one. No, oh man. You're kidding. Purple all the way through, and then I just went a little bit too hot into the chicane and caught the grass before the curb. Oh, sorry, the sand.
This thing's okay, but it doesn't have enough power.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Man, I'm 6 tenths up into sector 3.
Sweet. Really? Where'd Johnny Nick disappear to?
Alright, into the 25s. Yeah, I'm starting to get the hang of it. How am I purple? What the hell? Worst first sector ever. I don't understand how you can keep those keyboard sound effects on. I hate it. I'm typing.
Just, yeah, couldn't be bothered changing it.
Yeah. well, that's dead. I decided to keep my foot buried into the fast section, and I just got snap oversteer and just head first straight into the barrier.
I feel I may need to get something from the cupboard.
Some twisties, maybe?
Yeah. Do I go the succotars and
Well, they're
Philadelphia
nice.
cheese?
Ooh, that sounds good.
Or do I heat up the pizza in the fridge?
Well, not unfortunately, but my father and my stepmother are plant-based, so I don't really have that much cheese and that sort of thing.
So they're vegan or vegetarian?
Yeah. Vegan, yeah.
Wow. And you have to be vegan too or not?
No, I have kangaroo and chicken and lean meat and stuff.
Okay.
I don't like steak, and I don't like lamb either. Well, more so I don't like the ethics of it, but I also don't really like the flavour, but yeah.
So,
Oh,
okay,
sorry.
so I'm curious, yeah, the ethics of beef and lamb in terms of the fact that they're effectively grown purely for meat, or is it something else?
Alright, well, I'm more ethics for lamb, so lamb is more ethics for me. And then obviously killing baby sheep, just don't think that's the right thing to do, especially not on the scale that they do it. I mean, I will occasionally have a beef burger if I'm out somewhere, but I will never have a steak that's cooked at home. I just don't really like the flavour of steak. I like kangaroo. Kangaroo's nice.
How do you describe the taste of kangaroo compared to beef? What do you say is the difference in the taste?
I prefer. Well, it's more. It has more flavour in my opinion.
It's too gamey for me.
Yeah,
To me, like,
It's very rich.
it is. It's
but
very
you
rich,
have
but
to. Yeah, go on.
it's like, you know, when you have like venison, it's very rich. It's similar texture to venison, but the flavour is. I'm a fan. Kangaroo.
I generally, if I ever have it though, I'll have it marinated, like honey, sweet chili marinade. That's generally what I'll have. I just find with kangaroo, I just prefer the flavour, and if you cook it right, it's really tender. If you overcook it, it becomes like rubber, but don't overcook it, so. Yeah, but my dad is plant-based because of existing health. He has something called lipoprotein A, which pretty much means that he's. Well, it pretty much means that his heart develops plaque faster than other people, and I might have that as well. So it's kind of just a precaution for me, because you die of a heart attack much easier if you have the condition. Much faster, should I say. But, yeah.
No, at least, like, yeah, if it's for health, that's, it's a totally different thing. Like,
Yeah,
it's better than
but
being.
It's more necessity than preference, isn't it?
He also does do it for the animal side of things as well. That's also a factor.
But he's not a militant vegan.
No, he's not a preachy.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't like them.
Yeah, it's like, it's it's one thing to be like, the militant vegan,
Yeah,
and then just try and ram it down everyone's throat.
but I mean, to be fair, I do understand where the militants come from, because if you know any of the facts, cattle farming is destroying our planet, along with all the other pollution and that sort of thing. It does play a big role in greenhouse gases.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I don't think anybody that has a clue would argue with that. I just kind of think, and I don't eat a lot of beef now, but I used to eat. Again, for me, the reason I don't eat beef is because I have hemochromatosis, so I've got to minimise iron intake, and one of the big iron foods is beef.
Yeah.
So for me, it's chicken, fish, and just only the occasion.
Yeah, I like seafood. Yeah, I'm the same as you, really.
But you know, I kind of take the view that at the end of the day, there's a lot of other things that man does that puts a lot more CO2 into the atmosphere than the methane from cows farting. And you know, the other bit about the damage they do to the land, you know, again is valid. But I mean, you have to eat, and you know, protein and the other things that come with it. It is a good source of that. Perhaps what needs to happen is, like anything, I think, a bit more moderation. I mean, I think back to only like really 10 years ago. So for me, for most of my life, I couldn't eat a meal if it didn't have beef in it.
Really?
Yeah. I like, oh no, okay, what's that? Oh, okay, good. Where's the steak? Or, you know, is there a meatball or you know, something like that?
Yeah. Well, I just think as well. I think what people also don't realise is, I mean, my dad doesn't touch me or anything, and he's perfectly fit and healthy, and he rides to work every day, which is a decent 50 k's and back. He goes to Adelaide and does the tour down under stages perfectly fine. Oh, there goes Swanee.
He's gone. His internet connection.
And he's perfectly fine. He's very fit and healthy, and he gets all his protein from vegetables. So I don't really understand why. I don't really understand why people have this interpretation that you need me to survive, because I have living evidence of it right in front of me. And he's 59.
Look, I think, like I said, I think it's a case of moderation, and I think, you know, if people have a more balanced diet, like I said, like, you know, the last 10 years I've hardly eaten any red meat. You know, if I go down to my parents' place and mum or dad will go, you know, we're gonna have this for dinner, and it happens to be, you know, a steak or sausages or whatever. I go, okay, no problem. But I can't remember the last time I actually bought a steak. I have. I would buy beef mince probably once every 3 months, and I do buy the Coles lasagna. I probably buy one slab of that probably once every 2 weeks, and that, you know, I'll have effectively 6 meals, but I always have a whole big pile of veggies with it. And I cut it up into 6 pieces, so it's 6 meals. And there's not a lot of mince in that in lasagna. But otherwise, I've got chicken mince in the fridge, in the freezer at the moment, and mainly I'll eat chicken, or, as I said, fish. The only other beef that I eat is Lean Cuisine. They do a beef ragu, which has got like 3 little pieces of beef in it. So,
I mean, if everyone was like you, we wouldn't have a problem. But unfortunately, that's not how it is.
No, and like I said, that's, you know, the way I used to be was I couldn't sit there and just eat, say, a meal that just had veggies, or a meal that just had salad, or you know, it had to have meat. But you know, the diet's changed.
And I just don't understand. For school, we do documentary. We watch documentaries and analyse them. The documentary we're doing right now is That Sugar Film. I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh, how bad sugar is for your body.
Yeah, well, it's called That Sugar Film, and it just goes over it. And there are kids in my class who I know who eat terribly and, like, you know, have meat all the time. And I just think, well, number one, you're slowly killing yourself, and they'll just say, oh, you just got to live life to the fullest, you know. Oh, I'm just living life. And I say, well, yeah, but once you get into your 40s, your 50s, and well, I mean now even it's your 40s, people are dropping dead from heart attacks. But once you get older, you realise life is precious, and people just don't realise that when they're young. And I just also think, if you're eating meat all the time, how many animals are you killing? How can you just be that selfish? I don't understand. Like, people are they just have no compassion, or they're completely desensitized to it.
Yeah, I guess they look at it from the perspective that you have to eat, and in the old days, man would go and hunt, a live animal to eat it, right? So they probably think that, that's very normal. But like I said, I think it's, you have to eat to survive, and to get the equivalent amount of certain things, you probably can do it quickly, putting those foods. But I think if people just do it in moderation, then it's going to achieve the best outcomes, because you won't have this, as you say, this massive footprint of animal methane and animal land erosion and all those things that go with it.
And one of the points,
it'll happen. It is going to happen. I mean, there's so much work being done around alternate sources of protein. Everything from bugs, as you say, to plants. What they need to do is they need to find a way to put that food in a way that people will find aesthetically pleasing. Because you put a bowl of cockroaches in front of someone and no one's going to eat it. I wouldn't eat it. Or grasshoppers, or any of those other ones too. But apparently they're extremely high in protein. So
I also think one of the main points in that sugar food is, nowadays every
processed food's got sugar in it.
So many foods that you just wouldn't suspect and are labelled as healthy foods are packed with sugar. Make it taste good. Anything processed. I don't think. I don't think there's many things, if anything, that's processed that doesn't have sugar in it. I was having this conversation just 2 days ago with my finance admin guy, and he was, we're talking about sugar, and he's saying, sugar's no good for you, and all this. I said, just hey, as an aside, those Vita gummies you've got in your drawer, have a look how much sugar's in them. And sugar's a hard one, because obviously it's everywhere.
Good for the sugarcane growers, not for everything. Everybody else.
And you need it to survive, but there's a difference between needing it to survive and having fruit and stuff, and then having chocolate chip cookies.
Shh, don't say that. I've got chocolate chip cookies in the cupboard.
In moderation.
I bought 2 boxes in the last 2 weeks, and it was the first time I bought them for over 6 months.
In moderation.
Yeah, well, that's the challenge, steady in moderation. I know the weight that I've put on over the last, 10 months now has been because of COVID, because I've been at home a lot more, and because a lot of the food that I've been eating and will have a lot of sugar in it. A lot of sugar and a lot of fat, because it's it's been a fair amount of junk food that I've eaten.
And I respect people like you that have that aren't what's the word? They don't judge, or they don't make fun of you just because you have these lifestyle choices.
No, I wouldn't laugh. I wouldn't laugh at anybody for their. And I think Swanee's kind of in the same boat as me, in that everybody's entitled to do their own thing. Everybody's entitled to have their own views, their own beliefs. Where I struggle is when people try to push their views on you. Right, like you said, your family aren't like that. You do it because you believe it's the right thing for you guys, and that's great. But you're not out there banging the drums, telling everybody else you guys are wrong. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. People need to be educated, and then they make their own choice once they're educated. If they're dumb, they're dumb. They'll pay the price.
Agree that. I agree with you to an extent, and the to an extent is that I mean, I'm just going to use smoking as an example. Like, everyone knows it's harmful. So if you knew someone that was smoking, I guarantee you most people would tell them to stop and push it upon them, and that's the thing as well. Like, when you have things like all this meat consumption and stuff that's harming the world, and I mean, obviously there's more destructive things, but when people are selfish and they don't care and they're killing innocent animals and they're harming the earth.
Yeah, look, I think all you can really do, right, is, and this is what I mean, right? There's no harm in providing information to people, right? There's no harm in saying, hey, you eat a lot of beef. Do you understand what the repercussions of that are? No, I don't. Oh, well, look, why don't you Google it and have a look? But then let that person go and find that information. Then they make their decision, which is different to saying you should give up eating meat and you should become a this or you should become a that. You're not telling them what they should do, but what you're doing is you're suggesting they go and educate themselves. And then once they've done that, if they still choose to be the same way, well, they prove that they are selfish and ignorant, but also at the end of the day, they'll have nobody to blame when they have coronary heart disease or diabetes or whatever else comes of that bad diet choice. I'm certainly no angel when it comes to my diet. I try a lot more now than I used to. Like, I used to be, I have this conversation with broccoli, and I think Jez, because broccoli does nothing but drinks Pepsi apparently. And I said, mate, you've got to get off that. It's just going to ruin you. It will absolutely ruin your guts. Because I know through my 20s and early 30s, it was pretty much all I drank was Coca-Cola. And I have bad reflux now, and I'm positive that's the reason why. And again, with people that have bad diet, like I've traditionally not had a bad diet, and even the last 6 to 8 months, most of the meals I eat are lean cuisine meals, which are all sort of supposedly calorie controlled and smaller portions sort of thing. The ones that have got any meat in them, whether it be beef, chicken, or actually I don't buy any that have anything else but beef or chicken. But there's 3 pieces, three sort of bite-sized pieces in amongst it, so it's virtually zero meat in them. But they taste great.
Yeah, I really wish everyone was like what you're like and not judgmental, but unfortunately.
Yeah, well, that's what you learn about the world, Rampage, is that the world is this spectrum of people that are, smart, people that are sensible, people that are caring, people that are compassionate, and then you've got the diametrically opposed to each of those, and they congregate in various percentages of each person, depending on which one of those character traits you want to look at.
Yeah. I mean, also, I mean, I'd like to point this out, and different people have different opinions on this, obviously, but they are also, I mean, the popular term for it is, anti-vax. And that sort of thing. It's funny though.
Yeah, when it comes to the vaccination thing, I think if there's enough evidence to show that a vaccine is good for you, then you should take it. I'm still a little bit wary of these new COVID-19 vaccines. We're seeing, albeit low, but we are seeing a side effect, blood clots. And we don't know. The other thing too. In another 9 months, we might start to see if there's We might start to see if there's any birth defects resulting from it. There's this great medicine back in the 50s called thalidomide, and it was supposedly a great drug that was good for people that, I forget what it was supposed to deal with. But then you had this absolute onslaught of birth defects.
Yeah, and you watch as it. Oh, there goes John. And the worst thing though I think about it is, as it happens, you don't hear about it because it's all censored. They don't want you to know about it. I mean, look, I'm trying not to sound like an absolute vaccine hater, because I don't. I take the ones that I think are necessary, like tetanus, and the ones that are proven that are okay for you. But the ones that are untested and I kind of just shake my head. There's, I don't know, it's probably been a long time since you had one, but there's like the HPV ones that they give you when you're like 14, and boys can't even get it. Boys can't even get the strain that they're giving it to you for.
Yeah, I think it's because they're not 100% sure whether we can potentially carry it. I think that's what John killed the room, I suspect.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Alright, I'm gonna go have dinner. I should be back.
Alright.
I might play some Battlefield or something though. Driving around in circles is driving me a bit crazy.
Well, I might stop my broadcast. I might do that, and then I don't know what I might do. I might go back to